Okay. Relax. Okay. So I'm talking with Malia Ross. She is a candidate for city council. Welcome.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, your family background, why you want to be in city government.
Sure. I grew up in a big family just west of town. Homeschooled, raised with biblical values. I learned a strong work ethic from my family. I worked for my dad's business starting when I was 7 years old. But a few years ago, I moved into town to run my family's coffee shop, Cherish Life. And I fell in love with the community here. And when a position opened up to work with city council, I saw an opportunity to serve a community that I love and have personal stake in through business.
That's awesome. How do you plan to involve residents in the decision-making process in our town?
I'm planning on involving community members by encouraging them to attend the city council meetings that are open to the public and make their voices heard through the public comments that we have at the end of every meeting. Along with this, I plan on making myself accessible by phone throughout the week, and I'm always available behind the counter at Cherish.
In regard to developing the city over the next 10 years, what do you consider to be most important?
I consider investing in the city's infrastructure to be the most important, along with making the community attractive to businesses and young families, whether by sacrificing short-term for long-term stability or coming up with creative ways to work within the budget and take advantage of money we may have access to through TIF or grant money.
Awesome. What do you believe to be the significant issues facing the city of Ackley, and do you have a position on them, and if so, what is that position?
I believe that stimulating economic growth is a present and pressing issue for Ackley's continued health and longevity. I believe that having a city center that is pride-worthy is of utmost importance to attract businesses and encourage economic development. I stand on the side of short-term sacrifice for long-term stability and success. Another issue has been the EMS merger with Eldora. I side with those who believe that this was the best solution to continue providing fast, reliable, and life-saving service to the residents of Ackley. Finally, there is the issue of police presence. I believe that the route we're currently taking with coverage from the sheriff's office, while not necessarily a long-term solution, is a monetarily wise fix for now. The fact that several law enforcement officers live in town only bolsters my confidence in this.
Cool. Is there anything else that you would like voters to know?
I am closely affiliated with a couple businesses in town, so I have a lot of incentive to see Ackley and especially small businesses in Ackley succeed. If elected, I plan on taking the Iowa League of Cities City Government course and continue learning about how to serve well from knowledgeable people within the community, some of whom have already given their time and advice very graciously to me. Finally, I look forward to serving this community faithfully and with excellence.
Thank you.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Hi. Today I'm talking with Stephen Ackerman. Steve is running for a position on the Ackley City Council. Stephen, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I grew up in rural Butler County and attended Ackley Geneva High. Also, after graduation, attended Iowa State University, which I graduated in '81. And for the past 35 some years, I worked within the banking financial industry and feel that my background and experience would be a good fit to help the city of Ackley in upcoming endeavors and financial planning.
Awesome. How do you plan to involve residents in the decision-making process in town?
From my past experiences in different locations, I found that creating a focus group helps bring different minds from different walks of life together to come up with ideas or to help us decide what might help the council, come up with the best decision. Also, roundtable discussions, just having an open invitation for someone to come and discuss 1 or 2 issues only. And 3, invite more residents or let residents and business owners of Ackley somehow feel more comfortable to come to the council meetings, whether it be every other month we have a coffee or something, so the residents of Ackley can get to know the council members individually and feel like they have a presence.
I like that,
And,
coffee with a council.
yeah.
I'm not supposed to have an opinion. If elected, what 3 steps would you take to put our city, on firm financial footing?
First of all, the one thing that I have heard since I've moved back to Ackley is water bills. And personally, I know my water bill is like every month, there just seems to be an increase. And the city is undergoing a complete renovation of our water treatment plant at this time. But there is also the issue of a third party that's helping the city. And somehow we have to bring those costs down, whether it's by us taking over part of the water system, or we have to bring in new residents, new business to help bring in tax income and to also, that's the only way we're going to be able to reduce our water rates, our current water rates, I should say. Second, working with business development or economic development to help bring in new businesses, to give Ackley a spot on the Iowa map. Somehow make it a destination. And offering, currently we have our Prairie Bridges campground. We have our, not Goat Barn, oh my goodness.
It's okay, don't worry about it.
The other campground,
The Crazy Acres?
Crazy
Yeah,
Acres,
okay.
thank you
Yep,
very
yep, yep.
much. Where we need to be able to offer them, whether it's businesses, merchants, restaurants, knick-knack shops,
Yeah.
things that'll bring people downtown. And third, trying to keep the city of Ackley, all areas clean. We have an issue with a lot of residents who may not be keeping up their yards and landscapes and letting things just get out of hand. That's another complaint I hear.
Yeah.
So something needs to be done about that.
What do you believe to be the most significant issues facing Ackley, and what is your position or what ideas do you have on those?
Most significant, again, would be we need to bring in new business and new residents to help bring in new tax income for our bottom line. The only way we're going to be able to get more income is by offering ways to bring people to Ackley.
Is there anything else that you would like the voters to know about you or how you might benefit the residents of the community in a position on the council?
Remember, vote for Stephen Ackerman on November 7th, and I will help the future of Ackley to the best of my ability.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So welcome, Cody. This is Cody Wade. He is seeking a seat on the Ackley City Council. Cody, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, I grew up in Ackley and I moved away for a few years and then I came back. Both my parents live here and
Do you have children?
I have one son. He's grown and out of the house and yeah, that's about it.
How do you plan to involve residents in the decision-making process in Ackley?
Town meetings are actually going to going to people's houses and asking and sitting down and asking them what they feel on issues of the town.
So you're open to having people call you and
Yes.
talk and good. In regard to developing the city over the next 10 years, what things do you consider to be most important?
I think getting all the water lines completely updated since we've been having a lot of bursts lately.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to have a more affordable water bill and kind of removing some of the dead trees in town, all the ash, and
Yeah, that's a big problem.
trying to get new businesses and have business growth and more of a population growth and also an actual police force that'll stick around or
Yeah, that's a tough one, but yeah, hopefully. What do you believe to be the most significant issues facing the city of Ackley, and what's your position on that issue or issues?
well, I feel the water bill is too high. I may not have a lot of knowledge on it, but as obviously a resident, it seems a bit higher than other towns I've lived. It seems that when an issue comes up and the town needs more money, they just tack something else on to the water bill, and instead of a tax, just
What about community growth? Is that? I mean, we talked earlier about growth in the community kind of being stagnant. How might you increase that growth?
entice or make the town more better looking for other businesses to come in, because most people work out of town. We don't have much of career opportunities.
Is there anything that you'd like the voters to know? Anything else that you'd like them to know?
I feel that this community should feel like a community, and it hasn't really felt like that. Everybody's off doing their own thing. Neighbors don't talk or sit on the porch together anymore. And I believe we could have a volunteer group or something. I know there are a lot of elderly people in this town that could help having their yards mowed or their yards picked up or just doing simple things. And then I feel that if we felt more like a community, children, if they felt unsafe at home, they would be able to know where to go for a neighbor or something if they felt unsafe at home.
Yep, that's cool. I guess that's really all the questions I have, Cody. Thanks for for your time and for putting yourself out there to run for council.
Yeah.
Thank you. So I'm here today with Mike Abbas. He's running for a second term on the Ackley City Council. Mike, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I can. I've lived here my entire life. My wife Paula works down at the bank. I have 2 grown kids and I have 4 granddaughters. I've always enjoyed giving back to the community. City council seems like a really good way to do that. That's why I'm running for a second term. I've also been a fireman for 30 plus years, and I was an EMT for 15 years.
How do you plan to involve residents in the decision-making process in town?
I always believe you should have an open ear to the public. I think we've gotten a long ways from that with social media. I'm not necessarily a huge fan of that. I still like the face-to-face thing. I'm more than happy to answer anybody's call or talk to them if they want to stop. I think most of the town already knows my phone number. If not, it's on a big sign outside my shop by my house. Feel free to call anytime.
Okay. If elected, what 3 steps or what steps would you like to see taken to put our city on firm financial footing?
Given the state of the economy in general, our town, our country, our state, whatever, that's a really tough question. I don't know that I can give a really good answer other than I believe that we are only allowed to have so much money to spend by the state and the local or the county. I think we just need to do our best to spend it the best ways possible. We really don't know when something's gonna break or something's gonna fail that we need to spend some extra money on, so we have to be very careful how we spend it in the first place.
In regard to developing the city over the next 10 years, what do you consider to be the most important?
I think we need to keep going with our infrastructure for sure. We would love to have people move to town. We'd love to have new houses. We need to keep going forward with the water upgrades, the sewer upgrades. We're putting a new wastewater treatment in plant now. Those sort of things. I believe I'd like to see the Main Street, something happen on Main Street. At the moment, it's kind of out of our control, but I'd like to see something happen on Main Street. Maybe figure out a way to get some new small businesses into town to fill some of the empty shops up, that sort of thing.
That said, with Main Street, what do you believe to be some of the significant issues facing the city, and do you have a position on those?
Honestly, I think our biggest, like every small town, our biggest issue is finances. I mean, we don't have a lot of tax generating businesses in town. It's mostly residential taxes that we get, property taxes, that sort of thing. So it's very hard for us to actually get ahead on things like that. I don't know. That's most of it, just a financial thing. I mean, our hands are basically tied most of the time.
What about police protection? I know that's a whole nother.
I think the city council, the city in general, is gonna have to look long and hard at how we're gonna proceed, whether we just stay with the sheriff's department, and now they're trying to form a neighborhood watch thing that seemed to have a good crowd at it the other night. Police force is expensive. Everybody knows that. I don't think people realize how expensive it is, but a police force is expensive. So, given that we're limited on finances to start with, maybe there's better places to spend our money.
Is there anything else that you would like the residents, the voters to know?
Oh, I don't know, just that, Ackley's a nice town. We've had a little, I don't even want to call it vandalism, a bunch of kids messing around with nothing better to do. I don't think that should make anybody fear that our town's going in a bad direction. That stuff happens. I think we have to look at the positives. We've pretty much redone our sewer system the last few years. We're putting in a new wastewater plant.
Splash pad.
a new splash pad. We're trying to make things happen. We got a good group of individuals that are helping our town out, younger people. You know, they're building a new, that's not necessarily city money, but it's still city stuff. Out of Prairie Bridges, they're building a nice new shelter, I guess is a good word for it.
Yeah, okay.
So, I mean, there's far more positives than there are negatives here. I would like to see though, and I don't know how, but I would like to see some of the abandoned houses disappear. Maybe we can sell a lot for a new house or something. I don't know the best way to do that, but it'd be nice. We got a few of them around that have been that way for a long time.
Okay. Thanks for stopping by and giving the voters your opinion, and
Thank
we'll
you.
see you.
Thank
Thank you.
Get out and vote.